Hello, fifth graders. It's nice to see you all again. The last lesson we did in math that Mr. Bessie taught was a lesson on probability. All right, when he was teaching his lesson, he was using words like certain, likely, unlikely, equally likely, impossible. Today, we're going to take it to the next step and we're going to talk about using probability as a fraction. All right, so if you would like to follow along in your book, page 668 is the page that you will follow along and find more examples. All right, so as I stated, our main idea today is to use fractions to describe probability. All right, and we're going to talk about what a favorable outcome is. So when we're talking about describing an event happening using a fraction, it's going to compare the number of favorable outcomes to the number of possible outcomes. All right, so how many you're counting out of the total amount that there are. For example, all right, in this bag here we have 16 different marbles, and they are different colors. We have red, we have orange, we have yellow, we have green, and we have blue. All right, and so I counted the marbles. There's a total of 16 in there. They are asking us to find the probability that a red marble is chosen. All right, now the letter P stands for probability. All right, and so because they're specifically asking us for red, we count how many red are in there. All right, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red marbles. So that's the number that goes on top in your fraction, 6. And then the number that goes on the bottom is how many total marbles there are, and there are 6 out of 16. All right, now as we've learned earlier in 5th grade math, this is a fraction that is not in simplest form. And so if we can simplify this, we want to do that. All right, what number goes into both 6 and 16?
2.
2. So we're going to divide both of those by 2. All right, 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 16 divided by 2 is 8. Is 3 eighths in simplest form?
Yes.
And we know it is because the factors of 3 are 1 times 3, and 3 is not a factor of 8. So therefore, their greatest common factor is 1. All right, so the answer then to the question, find the probability that a red marble is chosen, would then be written as 3 eighths. All right, again, P stands for the probability of an event happening. All right, and we put the number of favorable outcomes. That means what we're looking for. In this example, it was how many red marbles were in the bag, and then the bottom number is the number of possible outcomes, and there were 16 in the bag. All right, so here's our fraction. All right, there's 6 red out of a total of 16 marbles in the bag, and they simplified it just like we did by dividing both numbers by 2 for getting a final answer of 3 eighths probability that we would choose a red marble. Okay, so let's have you try this example. All right, again, it's the same bag, so there's 16 marbles in the bag, and in this one you have to find the probability that a blue marble is chosen. All right, so you're going to count how many blue marbles are in the bag.
2.
There are 2. That's the number that goes on top. Out of a total of how many?
16.
Out of 16, so 2/16, all right, is the probability. But I don't see 2/16 as one of our answer choices. Why?
It's not simplified.
It's not simplified. What number goes into both 2 and 16?
2.
2. So we divide that down. What is 2 divided by 2?
1.
And 16 divided by 2 is 8. Is 1 eighth in simplest form?
Yes.
Yes, so we know it is because it has a 1 on top. All right, so the probability that a blue marble is chosen out of this bag of marbles would be 1 eighth. Letter B. Here's another example of probability using a fraction. Jamal is making a beaded belt. Each packet of beads comes in the colors shown in the table. If Jamal takes 1 bead without looking, what is the probability that he gets a blue or a green bead? All right, so we have red, blue, green, and yellow, and they want to know the probability of blue or green, which means we have to add those together. But before we do that, we need to find out what?
How many total numbers there are.
How many total beads, all right, are in the bag. All right, so we take these 4 numbers and we add them together. 12 plus 18 is 30, 24 plus 6 is 30, and 30 plus 30 is 60. So there are 60 total beads, all right, and now they're asking for the probability of a blue or a green. So we're gonna add the blue, which is 18, the green, which is 24, all right, so we'll add those together. 18 plus 24 equals how much?
42.
42. So that's the favorable outcome that we're looking for, is 42, and then that would be 42 out of how many?
60.
We have a total of 60 beads, so it'd be 42 out of 60. All right, now, that is our probability, but again, it's not written in simplest form. How do we reduce 42 over 60?
You have to simplify.
We're going to simplify. What should we divide both of these by?
6.
All right, so we'll divide both of those by 6. 42 divided by 6 is
7.
And 60 divided by 6 is
10.
10. Is 7/10 in simplest form?
Yes.
Yes, it is, and we know it is because the factors of 7 are 1 times 7. 7 is not a factor of 10, therefore it is in simplest form. All right, so they're gonna take us through that. All right, so just like we did, they added up and they got a total of 60 beads, and then when they added the blue and the green, they got 42 beads. All right, so the number of favorable outcomes, that was either the blue or the green we were looking for, so that's gonna be our top number, all right, which we added that together and we got 42, and then we added all 4 colors together and we got 60, so it was 42 out of 60, but we know that's not in simplest form. Both of those were divisible by 6, and so it simplifies to 7/10. So in this example, the probability of getting a blue or a green bead is 7/10. Nice job. All right, this example is just like that. All right, we've got the same numbers here. So again, how many total beads do we have?
60.
60. 12 plus 18 is 30. 24 plus 6 is 30. And 30 plus 30 is 60. Now in this example, they're asking us, what's the probability of picking a red or a yellow bead? How many red beads are there?
12.
12. How many yellow beads are there?
6.
6. That is a total of how many?
18.
18. So 18 is the favorable outcome. It would be 18 out of how many?
60.
Again, there's a total of 60 beads, so it'd be 18 out of 60. That's not one of my answer choices, because I need to do what?
Simplify.
I need to simplify it, okay? Both 18 and 60 are divisible again by what number?
6.
They're both divisible by 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3, and 60 divided by 6 is
10.
Is 3/10 in simplest form?
Yes.
Yes, and we know it is because the factors of 3 are 1 times 3. 3 is not a factor of 10, so their greatest common factor is 1, which means it's in simplest form. So letter D would be our correct answer. Excellent. We will continue on our next lesson. We have one more in probability, and hopefully you've been practicing all these on IXL also. Have a great